Egyptian
Do
planes.
you believe that Tyler Robinson murdered your husband?
Yes, I do.
Why do you...
And then how does Egypt help confirm the Hebrew conquest? For that, we got to go to Egypt. And when you go to Egypt, you're going to find something down here in this city called the Amarna letters. Way back in 1891, William Flinders Petrie found what are called the Amarna letters. And there are 382 of these things found in this place in Egypt between Cairo and Luxor that reveal life in Canaan when the Israelites were taking the land between 1400 and 1300 BC. So these letters are talking about what's going on in what we would call modern day Israel.
Egyptian planes.
See, we have a visual representation of the Israelites coming, and then there are names in something called the Brooklyn Papyrus.
Why should we, prior to the trial, lay all of our hands and cards on the table for the defense team to see, to somehow then, I don't even know what they would do with it. But what I will say, and I want to get on the Egyptian plane thing, we'll take a flight on that for a second.
This tomb has a connection to the Bible.
Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that.
We are on the other side of the Valley of the Kings. The kings are buried on the other side of this mountain. On this side are noble people that weren't kings, but were high officials. One high official was Rekhmire, who happened to be second in charge to both Thutmose III, who was the king or the pharaoh that wanted Moses dead, and Amenhotep II, his son, who became the pharaoh and was the pharaoh of the Exodus.
So a new theory that Egyptian aircraft have been tracking you.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on? Why are there so many conspiracies spreading about what seems to be a pretty open and shut case?
Yeah, you always hear people saying there's no evidence for the Exodus. There's no evidence the Hebrews were ever there. I don't know how they miss this stuff.
Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that.
We find these inscriptions of bulls and what appears to be even bull worship, because you have characters standing under bulls. Here, this one with his hands up. Where did the Israelites come from? Egypt. They had a god, a cow god called Hathor, that they worshipped. Also, if you notice on this set of graffiti, this is a family program here, but I'll leave that for you to decide what that is. In Exodus 32, it says that the Israelites, after worshiping the golden calf, were at play. They were engaged in immoral activity.
Egyptian planes.
You
We'll
want to talk
attack
about
that one?
Egyptian planes?
Okay.
Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that.
You may remember, if you were in our archaeology sessions, that there is evidence that Semitic tribes actually moved at this time to Canaan, or to Egypt, from the land of Canaan. This is called the Beni Hassan painting. It was discovered in 1964, not far from Saqqara, Egypt, which is just south of where the Great Pyramids are. And it's in a tomb of a pharaoh or a king who reigned from 1911 BC to 1870 BC. You can see these brightly colored robes. These are Semitic tribes making their way from the land of Canaan, what we now call Israel, to Egypt.
Egyptian planes.
And they're dressed as Semites. They're not dressed as Egyptians. So archaeologists go, yeah, this is a migration of people coming from the land of Canaan to Egypt.
I was pregnant for 90% of those trips. Mind you, I've never, all those places they said I've traveled, I've never been. I mean, I've been, but I'm not within those dates that they've.
Look, there's only really two things you need to establish. You need to establish they were there at a certain time, and then you need to establish that they left and went to Canaan, what we would now call Israel. Did that really happen?
But, oh, how funny. I say Egypt and my iPad turns on.